My little scene, I don't think so the tertiary characters where it threw me, and my tertiary character wound up not being so tertiary, I guess. Maybe there's a
I
tertiary.
guess technically my tertiary character wasn't really because
It's
she
hard.
earned a name. Because she earned a name.
She earned a name. Yeah. Well, I
I
mean, I have two extra characters that neither of which have a name, so I guess I got that going for me. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'll go ahead and read mine.
okay.
All right. Let's see. Rain rolled down the window in rivulets as the train rocked back and forth. Andy stared into the bleak gray, wishing for something concrete. Her own reflection gazed back, listless and bored. Is this seat taken? The creaky voice of age whispered through the steady thump from her beats and startled her to attention. Hmm? She glanced over at the woman hunched with age and infirmity and shook her head, scooching her backpack more centrally on her lap. Thank you, the woman wheezed as she settled into the seat with labored breaths at each movement. I'm only one stop from home. You don't have to sit with me long, she said with a self deprecating laugh. Andy gave a cursory nod of acknowledgement and pointedly stared at the novel that had fallen open in her lap. Usually, the beats were enough to dissuade chatty passengers. But if that failed, reading was the nail in the coffin of any conversation. I've been visiting my sister, the woman continued, and Andy swallowed back her absolute irritation. Instead, she continued staring at the page, willing the words to block out the prattling stranger. She's been sick, you know. No, I don't. Andy managed to not say the words aloud, but really, the presumption of some people. For the next 10 minutes, the woman gave Andy her complete family history, all while Andy maintained resolute attention to her novel. After an interminable time, she saw the conductor coming from the front of the car, a moment of fleeting relief to know that the one sided conversation would be interrupted, if ever so briefly. Tickets, please. Andy already had hers out, reaching across the old woman to hand to the man. Meanwhile, the woman was digging in her bag. Oh no. She muttered under her breath several declarations, digging and finally dumping the entire contents onto her lap, the detritus of which spilled over onto Andy's side. She gagged at what appeared to be a used tissue that landed on her thigh before rolling to the floor. Ma'am, I need your ticket, please. I. The woman searched the debris. I can't find my wallet. She stood up and searched the floor, looking under the seat, then the one behind and in front. She looked up at the conductor with shimmering eyes. I don't know what happened. I had it at the ticket booth and she trailed off into sniffling sobs. The conductor shared a bored look with Andy. She was sure he'd seen it all in his time, and Andy's intuition told her this woman was clearly not only trying to scam the train people, but Andy herself. She sighed inwardly, knowing full well that she'd never see the money again, but finally piped up. Granny, did you leave your wallet at the train station again? We'll have to call them to find it. Meanwhile, she handed some cash to the conductor. Will this cover us to the next stop? The conductor rolled his eyes, but nodded. He shook his head as he moved on.
Nicely done. No, you accomplished all well. The high priestess
It was
thing.
her intuition. That was my angle.
Oh, there you
Is that she
go.
was listening to
Okay.
her intuition.
Yeah.
And even with her intuition, the high priestess energy was to show mercy and to,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. That's where that was coming from.
Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. All right. So I'm gonna